Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For this holiday season, I will show you guys how I created Jack Frost from the movie Rise of the Guardians. I recently rewatched that movie and it revived my love for Jack Frost and his character, which then led to the creation of this doll. Just a little fun fact, I actually cosplayed as a dark Jack Frost for Anime Expo 2014. The staff that I created was actually my favorite part of the costume because, I don't know, for some reason, it just looked amazing. It was pretty heavy and I loved that. And I actually used it in a different costume as well for, I think, day 2 as like a witch girl or something. It was just a made-up character. So I thought it was really cool and now I'm excited to create it in miniature form. So now let's get on to business and start with the face-up. And for this project, I'm actually going to be using Dexter Charming from Ever After High. First, I will be removing all of his hair so we can have a clean base for his white hair later. And I'm also taking my acetone to wipe off his factory paint. After the cleaning services is done, I primed his face with Mr. Super Clear so we can actually draw and give him a new face. So Jack Frost in the movie was actually a lot paler. He looks gray at times, and as you can see over here, Dexter Charming is looking alive and warm and vibrant. So I tried to give him more of a sunken eye type of look. I gave him some dark shadows underneath his eyes just to make them look more intense. So in the movie, he's actually the personification of mischief and chaos, but deep inside, his true purpose and power is to represent fun. And I actually saw that in the beginning of the movie, and I thought that was his main thing, was just to be fun and chaotic and, you know, just be carefree. So the expression that I gave him is his main expression where he's kind of smirking. It's very Elsa. I've been seeing a trend with all these ice people, like they always have a smirk, and I thought that was kind of cool, and I gave him kind of like a smirking half smile. So after blushing and adding color dimensions to his face, we will be adding freckles all over his face because I have seen most of his official artwork and the skin details are real, you guys, and they have it all over their face, and I love it. I love adding freckles because they help add realism to the face-ups. And just some final rendering to his eyes, and we're about to be finished with his face-up. And now it's time to work on his costume, and this hoodie was actually provided by Mystical Moonstone from Instagram. Amanda, this is amazing. It's so detailed. I love everything about this hoodie, and I am ready to customize it. I'm just taking my acrylic paints in white, in pearl white, in glitter, and I mixed them all up with Mod Podge just to make them a little more softer and more flexible, and we're just going to be adding the frost on his hoodie. So I am so jealous of people who actually has white winter and has that whole winter wonderland going on, because living in Vegas, it's like a hit or miss. Actually, it's not. It's just literally a miss. I would love to hear what winter is like for you guys, so go ahead and sound off in the comments down below and let me know what type of winter you guys have. So after the hoodie is done, I will be taking these pants also from Ever After High. I believe this is Hunter Huntsman's pants, and Amanda also provided it for me. But I do want it to look a little more dingy and a little more worn, and also I do have to add the frost and flakes and all of that glittery stuff in the bottom of his jeans. So we're going to do that as well. Oh my gosh, I was getting so worried when I was dry brushing these pans because as you can see, they are looking very dingy, like dingier than what I had anticipated. However, when I started adding the frost and the flakes and the snow and the glitter and all of that great stuff, it started looking great. So I was up for it. I was into it. Now I'm just taking this ribbon. It was actually gold originally, but I painted it brown and I dry brushed it with black, and I'm just going to wrap it around his calves. Now moving on to his hair, as usual, I will be using yarn, and I am just creating the yarn wefts. And for Jack Frost, we will be using white, and this is literally like pure white. It's bright white. I know that Jack Frost has some gray and silver in there, but I just went for the white just to give it more of a snow look. And like I do with all of my videos, I start creating the wefts first. And for Jack Frost, we're actually just going to be gluing it straight to his head. There will be no wig cap for this one because I do want it to be very, very close to his head and scalp. And it's honestly just a lot easier too. So I'm just doing that. And in one quick second, he's about to turn into other characters that we did not anticipate, like Sephiroth, Inuyasha, and also Sesshomaru. Now I'm just taking my eyebrow razor and we will be cutting everything off layer by layer. I love using the razor method when cutting hair because I don't like it being too blunt. I love having the layered look, especially for cartoon or anime characters. This is such a popular type of look, so that's why I do it. So usually I start from the back and also the inner layer of the hair first, just in case I make mistakes. I do not want to risk the front pieces because I do make mistakes. The struggle to get there is, it's a journey. So in the end, I love what I make and I'm proud of it, but I do want to be careful just in case. Oh my gosh, I just realized he looks like Gerard Way in some angles from My Chemical Romance. That's so funny. And for his staff, I will be using wooden chopsticks that I got from a restaurant and also some wire to kind of build the armature around it. We do need a base for the epoxy so it's much stronger. So I am just gluing that wire onto the chopsticks. And I'm just adding glue gun around the wire just to make it thicker and also to build some texture. To cover the entire staff, I will be taking my epoxy sculpt, and this will help us create the wood-like texture and the look, and it makes it more realistic. So I'm just going to do that, and we will be carving this into his wooden staff. So this staff actually has a name, and Jack Frost named it Twine Tender or Twiner for short. I could be saying that wrong, but it's apparently a willow branch. When I was making this staff for myself, the scale version, I thought it was interesting how he found it like this. Like, he didn't have to make it. No one had to make it for him. He literally found it like this, like a perfect staff form. The only thing that he changed was it had frosting around it when he started touching it. So I thought that was very, very interesting and kind of funny. And now it's time to paint it, and for this one I actually mixed a lot of browns, and then I dry brushed it with black, and then I highlighted it with a lighter brown, and then we started adding the frost. I really wanted this to look accurate with his staff and how his frost is moving from the center, so I wanted to kind of crawl that around his staff. And now we're done!